Have you ever felt like your brain is just running 100 miles an hour, but you're not actually getting anywhere? Well, today, we're going to dive into the book Master Your Mind and learn some, pretty counterintuitive ways to get back in the driver's seat and finally refocus that runaway brain.
Okay, let's start with a feeling I think we all know way too well. The feeling of being completely hijacked by our own thoughts. You know, you're technically in charge, but it feels like your mind is at the wheel and you have zero control over where it's going. It's just stressful, it's exhausting, and you feel like you're just along for the ride.
So the authors have a name for this, the runaway brain. And just look at these symptoms. We're talking about everything from sleepless nights because your mind won't shut off to just total and complete burnout. And these aren't just little annoyances, right? They are incredibly costly to our peace of mind, our energy, and our ability to succeed. It's just not a sustainable way to live.
So, what's the fix? How do we stop this? Well, the answer the book gives is pretty much the opposite of what you'd think. It's not about trying harder or pushing faster. The real solution is actually grounded in some really fascinating science about how our brains are wired.
And here it is. This is the big idea. It's a huge theme throughout the entire book. If you want to get where you're going, and you actually want to get there faster, you have to intentionally, deliberately slow things down first. I know, it sounds backward, but stick with me.
This analogy just nails it. Think about a pilot. Their number one goal is a safe landing. And to do that, they can't just floor it and hope for the best. No, the most critical part of landing a plane is slowing it down. We need to do the exact same thing with our minds to hit our goals.
So how does this whole slowing down thing actually work in our brains? Well, to really get it, you first need to understand that we basically have two parts to our mind. And the book uses this brilliant metaphor to explain it, an ant and an elephant.
Okay, so picture this. Your conscious mind, the part that's listening to me right now, is like a tiny, logical ant. It can plan, it can analyze, but man, it gets tired really easily. Now that ant is riding on the back of a giant, powerful elephant. And that elephant, that's your subconscious mind. It's instinctual, it's emotional, it's incredibly fast, and it has all the real power.
You might be thinking, okay, just how powerful is this elephant really? Let's do a quick little experiment to find out. You don't have to move a muscle, just follow along in your head. This is going to show you the incredible automatic power of your subconscious.
All right, you with me? I want you to vividly picture a lemon. See its bright, yellow, waxy skin. Now, in your mind's eye, cut it in half. See the little segments inside? The seeds? Okay. Now bring it up to your nose and imagine inhaling that sharp, clean, citrusy smell. All right, now for the fun part. I want you to imagine biting deep into that lemon.
So, is your mouth watering? I'm gonna bet it is. That physical reaction, that saliva, that's your elephant in action. It proves that your subconscious has no idea what's real and what's just a vividly imagined picture. It just sees the image and reacts automatically.
So if we know our elephant is that powerful and that it responds to pictures, our job isn't to fight it. You can't overpower an elephant with a tiny ant. Our main job is actually much simpler. We just have to give it a clear, compelling picture of where we want to go.
This is why if you tell a kid, hey, don't spill the milk, what's the only picture in their head? Spilling milk. And boom, milk goes everywhere. The same thing happens to us as adults. When you're constantly thinking, I don't want to be broke, your elephant just sees a picture of broke and starts moving right toward it.
And here is a major, major trap that we all fall into, obsessing over the how. The book calls these the cursed hows. Top performers get this. They know that getting bogged down in the tiny details of how something is going to happen just paralyzes the logical ant and totally confuses the elephant.
Okay, this slide really shows the massive difference here. Look at this chart. Most people spend 90% of their mental energy stuck on the how. But look at top performers. They completely flip it. They pour all their energy into the what. What do I want? And the why. Why do I want it? Then they trust their powerful elephant to instinctively figure out the how along the way.
Now here's the best part. You don't need to completely overhaul your life to do this. It's all about making small, strategic shifts that end up producing gigantic results. It's a concept the book calls the 2-millimeter principle.
So, the 2-millimeter principle. Think about it like a golf swing. A tiny 2 mm shift in where that club hits the ball can be the difference between a perfect shot straight down the fairway and a ball lost deep in the woods. That tiny little change makes all the difference in the world.
Let's look at a real-world example of this in action. Take the Kentucky Derby. A few years ago, the winning horse, Justify, won the race by just a couple of seconds. His actual speed advantage was less than 2%. Super tiny.
But get this, that tiny, less than 2% edge in speed resulted in a 300% bigger payout in prize money compared to the horse that came in second. A very, very small advantage created a massively different outcome. That's the 2 mm principle.
So, let's tie this all together. The key takeaway here is to stop fighting your brain. That runaway brain feeling is just a symptom that your powerful elephant is a bit lost or misguided. You need to slow down to speed up. Give yourself the time to give that elephant a really clear direction. And you do that by focusing on what you want and why you want it, not getting stuck in the cursed house. And remember, you only need to make tiny 2 mm shifts to see huge results.
And that really brings us to our final thought. You don't have to change everything all at once. So I'll leave you with this question. What is the one tiny 2 mm shift you can make today to start pointing your elephant in the direction you actually want to go?